Welcome back to Talking Swift
Or welcome.
with Meggles.
Jess Rodolphe.
And I'm Rubee.
Today's episode was recorded March 3rd.
And today we are going to be talking about the Netflix documentary Miss Americana.
And not Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince.
Yeah. I had a feeling you were going to say something about that.
Oh, because it's one of my favorite songs, yeah. I actually, on my desk, I have Paladin's bracelet because it's too small. I made us matching friendship bracelets. Mine said Miss Americana, his said the Heartbreak Prince, so this is his. And it has blue and pink hearts.
That's cute. You should put a picture of that in the link area.
I think I have of mine and his, so I'll look for that. If not, I'll take a picture of that one.
I keep thinking of more things to add into the links area every episode.
Well, that's the point of it.
Yeah. So definitely go join our Discord so that you can be a part of this link area guide for the episode. Before we get into the documentary, we're going to go over the news. And we just got more news to talk about. But first, we should talk about the less recent news.
So Scott Swift punched a paparazzi in Australia and potentially has charges of assault against him. But to be fair, this paparazzi has a restraining order from Nicole Kidman, so he has a history of being a little extra provocative, I guess.
I was just going to say good on him for protecting his daughter if nobody else is going to do it.
Oh, for sure. Good on him. And that guy's just lucky Travis wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
If he got punched by a 70-year-old instead of a tight end. So
He should be lucky it was her dad.
Yeah.
Was it just when they were like walking around outside of the concert, like on their downtime?
I think they were at the beach and she was trying to get in the car and he was kind of blocking.
Oh, that's gross.
Ew, that's so creepy.
Because her security was like helping her get into the car and her dad walks around the security and decks him.
I love that.
And Taylor was doing her signature head in the umbrella.
Yeah, I saw that because I think I saw the clip, but it was from a weird angle.
I didn't see a great angle of it, probably because it's all paparazzi that captured it.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure if like he was blocking the car. I wasn't sure what he was doing, but I know he was being extra like in her face.
Aggressive.
Yeah. And his defense was, I was just doing my job chasing Taylor. It's like, dude.
It's such a creepy way to put it.
There are other ways to do your job.
Like, I get you're doing your job, but you could have did it a little more respectful.
Yeah, exactly.
She is a human being, and I think a lot of people forget that. Like, celebrities are still humans. Like, how would you feel if a random person did that to you?
I was gonna say, I think we're gonna get more into that in this episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift beat out the Beatles with one of their biggest record that they were holding. So they had 382 weeks of being in the Billboard 200's top 10. And that record, I believe, was in place for like 60 years. Nobody could break it. And then Taylor, I think a couple weeks ago or last week or something, she finally hit 384 weeks, cumulative weeks between number ones and number 10s on the Billboard 200. So she has now beaten out one of the hardest records to beat with the Beatles holding that top spot for about 60 years.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
And people don't think she's on the same league as them, and it's like...
They still refuse to, admit it. Even based with the fact, look at her statistics.
Also just her doing more of her doubles and stuff. There's been a lot of posts about doubles with Taylor and Taylor Nation.
And the mashups are 2 songs lately.
Has she done a mashup for every single surprise song?
Yes. And during Singapore, one song was always from Speak Now. It's something I noticed when I was putting the songs in.
That's interesting.
She also did like a weird synth noise note thing, which people think was actually not accidental, even though she played it off that the piano was.
She played 2 accidental wrong notes.
Yeah. So it's like just adding on to the doubles. So I have seen some theories about that with the double thing.
Taylor Nation also tweeted about whether she asks us for 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 13 minutes. And then there was a bunch of pictures of her doing the 2 fingers.
Yeah. Some people are thinking it means there's going to be a double drop because we'll get to it in a second. But last night, and then because there's the double of March 3rd, 3-3, people think there's something coming tonight too.
You gotta remember they're a day ahead of us.
Yeah.
So would that be for today?
Yeah, that would have been for earlier.
Yeah, it was announced today.
Okay. Yeah.
But on March 2nd, Taylor Nation went live and nothing happened. She didn't announce anything. And then Taylor Nation, then she tweeted that the meeting of the Tortured Poets Department is adjourned. And then her website was locked and needed a password. And
Right.
the passwords worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were several passwords that I was seeing that worked for people.
I definitely saw meeting and glitch, definitely are the 2 that I saw for sure that were.
I saw a lot of people doing 2 months from now.
Yeah, that I saw too.
I thought that was in relation to something else. I thought that was part of the code.
No, but I saw people used it as a password and it worked. Someone like found it in the code and then used that as a password and it worked. But was there anything different on the store? Like, or what did it look like past the password? Did anyone see that?
Once you got in, no.
I think it was a black screen, wasn't it?
No, it was a black screen before they put in the password. And then once they got in, it was the Tortured Poets Department aesthetic once they got into the store. But there was nothing in it.
Oh, huh.
I think.
Yeah, because I saw everyone freaking out because they went live and then they were like, nothing happened.
They tweeted after that. They said the TSTTBPD meeting is adjourned. We hope you enjoyed that lovely mashup. So then everyone was tweeting, for that meeting, you could have emailed. It's really suspicious.
Especially because wasn't it after the piano?
I know it was for the piano.
So then that's when she did I Don't Want to Live Forever and Dress.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful mashup.
That's why everyone was so convinced that Reputation was coming. Or something was weird with Reputation. Because of what she did. She went live for. Like, it's just really, really weird.
And there was also, they sealed their tweet with a black heart instead of a white one that they've been doing. But that could be what we got today.
But wait, a couple things from last week that are at the beginning of the news.
Oh,
Lily got the hat.
Yes, after many Swifties were petitioning Taylor to please give this girl the hat. And she got it, and it was a very sweet moment. Taylor skipped some of her normal choreography for 22 to spend a little bit more time with her, which was so incredibly sweet.
Yeah, for those who don't know, she has this section in, because I don't know if we mentioned this in the Eras tour, actually, but she has this section of her show where she, during the song 22, she goes up right up, I cannot find the right words.
So they pick a specific person from the audience and have them like pre-picked out near the beginning of the show. I actually watched the story video of the mother of Lily, and they got picked around like the Archer, and they went into the VIP tent for the rest of the show. And then right before 22, they got pulled to the front of the stage to hang out until the hat.
Taylor's wearing a...
kind of like a fedora.
Also, the hat is signed. I don't know if you guys knew that. I didn't know that. She signs like the brim.
Yeah, she signs each one.
That was news to me. I didn't know that she signed them.
And so then she gives the hat away during that song to the person that they pick. So it's a very special moment of the show.
I have some news. AMC Theater CEO came out to talk about the revenue of the fourth quarter and said that they saw an increase in revenue and that it is literally all because of Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
That is amazing.
Yep. And people don't say they're successful.
Yeah. So her piano is not a real piano. It is a keyboard with a piano shell. And so when she was about to play the surprise song on the piano last week, she made
It's like a synth, like electric-y sort of note.
She played that, and then she's like, oh, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she's like, what's going on? And then she did it again, and she's like, what's up with my keyboard? Or something like that. And then she played it again and made the smirk. No, she said that sounds like a synth sound, and then made the smirk or something. I don't know, something like that. But she made that smirk. We know she didn't do that, play that on accident, because she would have had to change her settings or something.
It's also interesting. A lot of people are speculating those were the first two notes of Look What You Made Me Do.
Were they?
That's what a lot of people are saying, that it was the first two notes of Look What You Made Me Do. That I don't know because they were far apart, so I'd have to hear them together.
So some of these things we forgot to mention last week, but they were about last week's shows. And then the last thing we forgot to mention last week, I think, was what was on the back of last week's variant, which we're about to talk about the variants anyway. Last week's variant was, Am I Allowed to Cry?
With the albatross variant.
What do you guys think about that?
What did people say that it fit in with the stages of grief? And it would have made it bargaining, which is like it's asking the question of like, am I allowed? So people thought it fit well with bargaining.
Or it could be sadness.
Yeah. Oh, I guess because it's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So people have the bolter as anger, which is you don't get to tell me about sad. And then they've got the original manuscript as denial, which is I love you, it's ruining my life.
That sounds like it lines up.
Yeah, and then they've got the Am I Allowed to Cry for the bargaining stage. But if this is, I guess we haven't talked about the new one yet, so we'll hold off.
So, yeah, Taylor announced it, and when she announced it, she said this is the final addition to the Tortured Poets Department. And my theory on that is, did she mean addition with an E or with an addition? ADDITION, as in the last bonus song? Because I still think a deluxe version is coming.
I really hope so, because I do not have the money to buy another variant, but I love this cover so much, and I'm so sad that I wish they'd all come out at once and I could have picked like my favorite. So I think this one might be my new favorite, and I'm sad that I don't have the money to buy it because I would have liked to have had the options all at once.
So that's my theory, because she said addition, but it could be addition, like an additional one, or addition, like this is the first edition of this.
Because even if she did a deluxe as the fifth, because there's the 5 stages of grief, so that's what I was saying, like this is the last one, then it doesn't fit in with 5.
Deluxe could be acceptance.
So, yeah, I was going to say deluxe could be acceptance, because it would be all the songs, everything would be all wrapped together in one thing. But I guess the new variant, because I guess we didn't really talk about the name of it, is called The Black Dog, and that's the bonus track on it. And the back of the cover says, Old Habits Die Screaming. That's the back. So that would kind of match a little bit for depression, I think.
It also gives me very much the Grimm. Grimm is the black dog. It gives me that kind of vibe. And the vinyl itself is black.
Yeah, this one's definitely got the black color scheme. The front of the cover is all black and white.
Yeah, it does look really cool. This is definitely one of my favorites. I don't know.
I love the back and the front of this one.
Does this one have a matching Midnight's post?
I would say the one I put in the links is the closest one that I could find looking at all of them together.
I'd agree.
It's not as close matching as the other ones, but that would be the only one that looks similar-ish. Yeah, I don't know if you can say that one's like matchy or not because it doesn't
I
really.
mean, it's pretty similar. If we look at it,
I would say,
It's debatable, I think.
I mean, it's her more twisted, but like the pose she's in for Midnight's is kind of like the what is happening, and then it's the what has happened.
because each pose has not been exactly the same, they've just been like shifted. They've been like that pose, but shifted. That's kind of like what Jess just described.
She's making a similar expression. It's in the link area up above. It's the same expression, just more anguished, it looks like.
See, because they're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. They're all kind of shifted.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see it.
It could be the most different because it's like at the end.
Yeah, she's standing up in this one, which is different to the others. The others, she was sitting or laying down. Now she's standing.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because it almost looks like she's like fighting because she's like laying down and then she sits up with her head, with her hand on her head, and then she lays back down and then she stands up. Almost seems like she's like fighting with her inner demon type thing or like her inner feelings.
The depression of trying to get out of bed.
Yeah, that's what this sort of gives me when you look at all of them like back to back.
What was the saying again?
Old habits die screaming.
That really gives me the feeling of really trying to break things off with someone for good. You know what I mean? And like how hard it is to let go of someone.
It gives me, what song is it in Reputation? My brain is blanking right now. Oh, Love You Like a Drug.
Yeah. It's Don't Blame Me.
Right. It is Don't Blame Me.
My drug is my baby.
I'm sad I can't buy it because I don't have
I know.
more money for variants. And if I did buy it at this point, I would be annoyed at myself for not buying the albatross because then it would be the only one that I didn't buy, and then I would be mad at myself that I didn't buy that one. And then it's just, but I absolutely love the cover.
I'm sure Target is also going to have a variant because she usually has a deal with Target.
Yeah, I don't have Target, so.
I live right by a Target. I got you. I live like 2 blocks away from Target. It's both great and dangerous. Great for last minute groceries.
Yeah, I love this cover though. I think it's a beautiful, like the pose and everything.
Yeah, I love this cover.
And I'm kind of obsessed with the Old Habits Die Screaming.
Yeah, same.
This one is making me want to break my rule about one vinyl.
It's making me want to break my rule of no more buying variants because I don't have the money.
I know. But then I would feel so sad about the albatross. It would feel like it's missing.
That's what I mean. I know. I'd be annoyed that I didn't buy it yet, and I'd hope that she like re-released even just like regular copies of them. Like they don't have to be, because these are all just collector's edition. Like there's no regular CD versions of them. So I would hope that she would just re-release them like that so I could just buy.
There was only a regular CD version of the first one, which does make me think maybe there will be of these other variants like eventually, maybe as it gets closer.
I was going to say, she did this with 1989, where they all came out at different times and then they were all together. But they weren't the collector's edition. That was the main difference.
Okay, I hope she does that then, because then I will buy both of the other ones.
I will when they're cheaper, just the CDs.
Even though I was like, no, I'm done. But I don't know. The way she's doing this CD, this album, it's just, I love how they are together.
I do love the aesthetic of the 4 of them. Like the way they get darker.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic. It's kind of like the clean girl. It's got the filter on. She's just like in bed or whatever. Like there's not a whole lot going on. It's like just her. I like the aesthetic.
Yeah, I like the focused on her. Yeah, I love the way she's doing this album so far.
Oh my god. Hold on, guys. I have another breakthrough here. Because I noticed when we were looking at the ones that compare the Midnights with the other variants and stuff, that's the back of the album in the second picture. So I looked at the back of this one with Midnights.
Oh my god.
And that one is like pretty spot on.
Yeah.
We didn't even compare it with the Albatross ones. Hold on.
We should have been looking at both pictures. We got so distracted by the one.
I know.
Is this what she means by 2? Have we cracked the code? Definitely not, but that's definitely not it.
Okay, hold on. I found now. I have, okay.
This case has been cracked wide open.
Because she's looking down and close.
Yeah. I also can't help but notice her mouth is the same in a lot of these poses.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. If you look,
Yeah.
her mouth, she's been copying like how the mouth is, but it's like, it feels different.
Wait.
Taylor, you're a mastermind. Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying.
She has the rings on the same fingers too.
Oh my god.
That's what I was curious about. She has a ring on both her middle fingers, which I don't think she has rings on in any other of the pictures.
She has a ring on for the one where she's like half covering her face, but I don't know about the rest of them.
Listening device, play mastermind.
Pretty similar though. Except for the albatross is a little iffy. The one like where she's standing, because she's like kind of sideways a little bit. The back of the black dog is insane.
The back of the albatross is really good too.
Like some of them are like spot on. I'm really interested if there is a deluxe, if it's gonna be a new cover and back, like a different one, and if it's also gonna be matchy.
What was 1989? It's different than actual 1989's cover.
So yeah, I would be really interested to see.
I'm also kind of noticing some of these poses are matching 1989.
What? I was not prepared for that.
I just noticed it. Hang on, I'm going to post it in the thing.
I don't know. I think we should move on from this because I think that we are just being clowns.
This is the new clowning. We gave up clowning for Rep TV.
I will post a thread about the Tortured Poets Department ones because they are very similar.
I was so sure about the Tortured Poets Department matching Midnights, but now I'm like, well, maybe that's just how she poses. Threw my theory out the window. Why don't you?
This is our new clowning.
No, honestly, the Tortured Poets Department ones look a lot similar, like a lot closer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but...
Look, we need something to clown about. This has become episode 2 of the Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah. Before starting the episode, I just want to put out a trigger warning. In this episode, we discuss sensitive topics that have to do with Taylor's life, including her dealing with an ED, the whole Kanye situation, her sexual assault case, and politics. If those topics are too sensitive for you or you think you might be triggered, then proceed with caution. So I guess we're going to start on Miss America. So this documentary came out a few years ago.
It came out after Lover?
It was made during the Lover era, so it was made before Folklore and all of that.
It came out January 31st, 2020, so after Lover came out, before Loverfest started.
So literally right before Folklore, because she wrote that after lockdown.
Mm-hmm. And this came out a little bit before lockdown.
She was planning on doing Loverfest that year. It hadn't been canceled yet. So that is probably why the timing of this, because she was going to do Loverfest. What is this documentary about?
I would say it's mostly just her life and like having to deal with certain hardships. Like she talks about her mom having cancer and having to deal with that. She talks about the whole Kanye moment and how that affected her, and she talks about how she had her eating disorder for a little while, the court case. So yeah, I feel like it's mostly a documentary about like her mental health journey and struggles and all of the things that happened and that affected it.
She talks about being stalked also.
Yeah.
One of the first times.
She kind of talks about how being stalked and the paparazzi always taking pictures of her is kind of how her eating disorder developed, was because she was always seeing pictures of herself and like dissecting the pictures and stuff.
Also talking about how fans kind of overstep boundaries a little.
Mm-hmm.
but also talking about her political views, something she had never done before, and why she had never done it, and why she felt the need to, and all of a sudden.
There's a lot to dissect here.
I guess we should start at the beginning.
I guess so.
But before that, Meggles, you were the only one of us who had seen it before. When did you first see it?
I first saw it when it came out. Yeah, I watched it, and then my sister-in-law also watched it on her own, and we talked about it and compared notes. But since then, I've watched it, I think, 3 or 4 times.
So, Jess, you'd never seen it before our watch party either?
No, I had only seen clips of it. Like, I had seen the clip about the politics, and I had seen one other clip, but I can't remember what it is right now.
I'd seen a few clips of the politics stuff.
But other than that, you hadn't seen it at all either?
Nope. I'm not a big documentary person.
I am now. I've turned into a documentary person.
It'll happen as you get older.
I honestly did really enjoy it. It might sway me to watch more documentaries. It was quite enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't feel like it was an hour and a half.
Yeah, someone made a comment about how she was the same. In the first, little clips of her back when she was a kid.
Oh yeah, she's literally the same goofy.
Yeah, her getting the guitar, her reaction, and how she said that she was so happy. It was like seeing just her shrunk down, because she still says things like that when she's really excited. So I was like, dang, she hasn't changed at all.
For those who don't know much about Taylor, she's actually really goofy and quirky. And
I actually saw a thing of someone saying that's why there's all of her sort of fake fans that just like her for the trend, because then whenever they see her actual personality come out, they're like, oh, she's not a cool girl. And it's no, she never was. She might be a pop star, but she's not one of the popular girls.
Preppy prom queen girl. She's the other one, the other girl, the
girl on the bleachers.
Yeah.
You think the lyrics of her songs would reflect that? I don't remember what song it's from. Oh, Mastermind.
Oh,
yeah, she was when I was younger, nobody wanted to play with me or something. It's she's never been a popular.
No one wants to play with me when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see Taylor's real personality, don't watch the film version of the Eras Tour. Go watch a live stream, because she is goofy during the Eras Tour, and she didn't be goofy when they filmed it. They have the bloopers, but that's just what she's like. That's not her making mistakes. That's just her. If you need to know, watch her giggle like a madman after she accidentally says MySpace instead of my face. She just giggles because she realized what she said.
I love her personality.
I wrote that she had a quill and ink phase, which I thought was interesting because that's kind of the whole vibe of the new album that's coming out. Well, and I just mentioned that it was really crazy how much she filmed her startup, and even as her being a kid playing music and stuff, how much of it's filmed is kind of impressive to me.
Her parents probably were doing home video type thing.
Yeah, but if you ask me, I know that my parents probably made home videos. If I went and asked them, they'd be like, I have no idea where those are.
Yeah. But the other thing that we noticed in the beginning, someone said, I think it was Jess, said something about her heels.
Yes.
Yeah. She was wearing heels in the shot after she is going home from the Reputation tour.
Yeah, she walked into her hotel room and is still wearing heels. And I was like, girl, if I just did an entire show in heels, I would not be wearing heels to go back to my hotel to sleep. I would be in slippers.
She's training.
Slippers or flip-flops. I would barefoot, not heels again.
I don't remember what part this is, but in relation to my notes, this seems like it's pretty early on. But I wrote a quote of her saying, I became the person that everybody wanted me to be. And I just thought it was interesting because she said who everybody wanted me to be, not who she wanted to be, because she was trying to fit like what everybody wanted in a celebrity early. I don't remember the exact time that she said this, but I know it was early on in the thing. So it might have been when she was starting to shift from like country to more pop. I
think it might also have been when she was talking about her journals and having a moral code and having to come to terms with having that mentality.
Yeah.
Maybe. I thought it was an interesting quote because it was like, I became who everybody else wanted me to be, not who I actually wanted to be.
Yeah. I think it was when it might have been tied into when she was talking about how everyone wants a good girl.
Yeah, that was the journals. I couldn't think of how she said it.
Because she talked a lot about being a good girl, being polite girl, someone who doesn't rock the boat is the vibe I was getting from that, all that. You don't speak up.
Don't stir the pot.
Agreeable. Yeah.
And how that kind of went out the window.
Yeah, for a long time she was kind of like the girl next door type of musician,
You wear short skirts, I wear t-shirts.
She kind of grew up very gradually instead of just like abruptly. When she suddenly was older, she didn't do super provocative things with her brand.
Which is nice because you find a lot of times when people start out younger, we're seeing this with Olivia Rodrigo right now, that they go from the sweet, innocent to immediately provocative, and it's a little jarring. I mean, some people grow up that way, but it feels like more celebrities are forced to grow up that way.
Billie Eilish, though, did not.
And Taylor grew up kind of like how a lot of us did, where we figured out when to be like, I didn't start dressing, I didn't wear shorts until I was in my late 20s. I didn't know who I was.
She's like slowly, she didn't even start having swear words until more recently. She started to add more adult stuff. This most recent album cover is a little more provocative. She's added it slowly as she's gotten older.
Yeah, Dress is like the first one I can think of that's like the sultry kind.
Yes.
Before that, nothing.
Yeah.
And we know her mom didn't want her to release I Can See You because it was a little too risque. But I Can See You compared to Dress is nothing.
I looked up the quote that I was talking about, and apparently it's right before referencing like the Kanye situation, because then she says, nobody saw me for a year and I thought that's what people wanted thing. So that's what that was in reference to, not what we thought. It's so early in my notes, I didn't think it was in relation to that.
It still ties in with what we were talking about, though, because it's just the whole general feel of this, how she's always, tried to keep the peace and stuff.
I was just gonna say she handled it way more mature than I would have at the age that she was.
Before we talk about the Kanye stuff, let's go back because that's a little bit farther in my notes.
I honestly think she just kept switching between Rip and Lover a lot, so the documentary itself is a little jumpy with like back and forth.
Yeah, she's jumping around, I think, because it's all kind of connected.
Yeah.
So Reputation didn't get nominated. The first major thing that happens in the documentary.
Yeah, so I wrote her quote of, if I don't beat what I've done prior, it'll be deemed as a colossal failure, in capitals, which I thought was also a pretty heavy quote from there. And I'm pretty sure that was in relation to Reputation not getting any sort of recognition as a good album, because then she wanted to make something better than Reputation.
Yeah, she said she needed to make a better record. When it didn't get nominated, she said it was okay.
Which is honestly crazy, because Reputation is such a good album that I'm like, I don't know how it...
You could see she was really upset, but she was trying to tell the person she was on the phone with that everything was okay. She was trying to be a people pleaser in that moment. She was like, no, it's okay. But you could see she was ready to cry.
Yeah, she was upset for sure. But I don't think she was being a people pleaser. She was doing what I do sometimes when something bad happens and like changes my plans. She was trying to pick herself up. It was like a self thing for her to keep going. That's the vibe I got, because I do a similar thing. Like, I try to just be like, okay, how am I gonna fix this? How am I gonna get in the right mindset to do that? How do I keep moving forward? Is that kind of...
Yeah, like she's telling herself that it's okay.
Yeah, that's just the vibe I got. But yeah, she was it definitely affected her. She was definitely upset.
Because you could tell it affected her because she was like, yeah, now I need to go do better. Like, I need to be better than this.
And she's said this before. There was a clip that goes around sometimes that pops up that I absolutely love of her 1989 era. During a interview, she was asked questions about how she decided to make this album or something like that. And in that, she says, right, when she says there are 3 things that you can do. I don't remember the exact quote, but you have 3 options or something like that. She said 1 was you can get really upset and cry about it or something similar to that. 2, you can get up on stage and take the award from the person who won. And everyone laughs at that. We'll explain why in a minute. Or 3, you can figure out how you can do better next and how you can improve your craft, basically. The words are not word for sure. I don't remember the exact wording, but that's the gist of what she says in that clip. And I love that. And that's the same mentality here. Okay, and then I guess she jumps to me, to her writing me.
Which I have to say, it was really sad seeing how excited she was to write it and make the music video and make the song, and then to know later that she got bullied so hard by Swifties for the song and they hate it, and it's not even included in the Eras tour, which I think would have been such an awesome song to have performed on stage.
Yeah, that was painful to watch. Her be so happy.
Because I love that song.
I love that song too. And in this documentary, she goes into a little bit about how she envisioned kids just screaming it. It's a self-love song. And I don't think people understand that.
Just knowing how Swifties kind of ruined that song for Taylor, it was really sad to watch her get so excited about it.
Yeah.
It hurt my feelings watching it. I was like, poor girl. She looks so happy. And then Swifties were just like, no, this song sucks and I hate it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's such a fun song.
It really is.
And it has definitely cheered me up a lot of the time when I've been in a bad place or whatever. It's one of the songs that I go to. It's like a pep talk type of thing, to get me feeling better and hyped up a little bit. And
I call them pump up jams.
Yeah.
I wanted to, this is not to do with the documentary, but Taylor Nation just tweeted 5 minutes ago confirming the final edition of the Tortured Poets Department is the Black Dog with an E, final edition. So that was just what we talked about earlier, but they literally just tweeted about it right now, so I wanted to mention that. Hopefully there's still a deluxe version.
They might just mean final edition of the variants.
Yeah, I think that's what they mean is there's no more variants or no more songs coming type of thing. Sorry. I got a notification that they tweeted and then I just read it and I was like, oh my god, we just talked about this. I have to mention it. But no, for me, whenever I'm feeling sad, I always listen to that song and it makes me feel better. So it's just such a fun, dance in your kitchen song. And I hate seeing the hate for it because it's not deserved. I just wanted to mention that she was talking about how her songs always seemed relevant with her fans. She'd mentioned that it's kind of like they're reading her diary because she's growing up with them at the same time. So her songs always seem relevant to them in the moment. I just really liked that part.
I like that part too.
Yeah, because that was kind of what we talked about in our our initial episode, why we liked her.
The Swifties that have been around for that long, they're kind of her age, right? So you guys all kind of grew up together.
Right.
Yeah, we're her age.
She's 2 years older than me.
Yeah, I did just like her saying it's like they're reading my diary, listening to her songs, because she puts so much of her own feelings and emotions into every song with all the lyrics and all of that. With a lot of her songs, there's a certain feeling that just comes out of just listening to it. It just emits a certain feeling, which is crazy to do with songs. So it kind of fits her saying it's oh, they're reading my diary, because it does feel like that. They're very personal sometimes.
They're very confessional. That's the word that.
Yes, that's a good word. It's a $5 word right there.
Which I love that style. I love that style of lyrics. Confessional. Okay, the Kanye moment happens.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the greatest albums of all time.
Yeah, that's what he said. So what happened was this was during the VMAs, right?
Speak Now era.
It was Fearless, though. It was for Fearless.
Was it?
It was for Fearless because it was You Belong With Me
Oh.
music video. I think that was that one.
Yes, the You Belong With Me music video won, which if you've watched that music video, is a really fun music video. I really love it. It's one of the first ones of hers that I saw. I think when we do our episode on music videos, we'll get into it more. But it won, and that was a really huge accomplishment for a country artist at the time. And at the time, she was a country artist. She wasn't breaking into pop yet.
And she was really young, too.
I was gonna say, with only her second album.
But yeah, so it was a huge achievement. At the time, she was 19. For clarification, she was 19.
She has her ages popping up as it goes on the screen during the documentary. So it popped up 19.
She won the awards. She got up on the stage and she started to make her speech. And then Kanye somehow jumped up on the stage. And he said what Jess said.
I'll let you finish.
Oh, yeah, I will let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best albums
of all time.
Yes, that is.
How do you let someone finish after that? How you would, like, that's so awkward to finish from.
Everyone in the audience started to, like, boo. And later, Taylor has said this before. I don't know if she said this in the documentary.
She did.
That she thought everyone was booing her in that moment.
Yeah, she talked about how horrible that moment was of everyone booing her. We know they were booing him and not her, but it didn't feel that way to her.
Yeah, and then I wrote, because she thought that she was being booed, she felt she had to prove she belonged, and that's why she reached out into the pop genre and moved away from country. So that was like a huge point of her career, turning point.
There is something I want to say about that too, is Beyonce's reaction to him saying that. She's like, what? That's what it looked like to me. Like, what are you doing?
So she didn't talk about it in the documentary probably because it would have taken too long. But Beyonce also won an award later in that show, and she pulled Taylor up to finish her speech.
That's right.
Which she didn't have to do.
Yeah.
She didn't interrupt Taylor. Yeah, she probably... Beyonce started very young. She probably saw herself in that moment, like a scared 19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And was probably like, I need to fix this.
And the other thing about that moment as well is Taylor Lautner was one of the ones giving that award out, like announcing that award. And he has said recently, I think, like in the last few years or something.
It was when I Can See You came out. The music video. He said that was what he wanted to do and what he should have done.
I knew that it was recent. He's regretted that in that moment because he didn't say anything. He was on the stage with her, and nobody did. Nobody said anything. There was someone else that was announcing that award too. I don't remember who, but
it was a girl. I don't remember who. But in their defense, no one expected that to happen, and nothing like that had really ever happened before. So it was kind of a what moment.
Everyone was in shock.
I was just always confused on how nobody stopped him, or like how he even got on the stage and nobody was like, hey man, like you're interrupting the award show, get off the stage. Like, just it's crazy to me that nobody like stopped him or didn't let him take the mic or, you know, whatever. It's just wild to me that it even happened.
We've seen that recently too. I mean, Will Smith jumped up on the stage. Something else happened fairly recently where somebody got on. They think it's a bunch of celebrities. Well, no one's gonna rush the stage. Well,
Because I remember the young Taylor after she had an interview outside the awards show, like right after, and she was like, yeah, Kanye came on stage and it's Kanye West. So I was excited because, like,
Yeah.
He was a fan.
he's a huge celebrity at the time and whatever, right? So she was like, oh, I was really excited for him to come on stage, and then that happened. But she still handled it really mature for the pettiness of the situation that happened. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy how much she left it, like, you know, I'm not trying to stir the pot.
Mm-hmm.
She said she was being brought into drama she didn't want to be a part of. And that became then like a reoccurring theme that we'll get into. But that was the first time she brought up she did not want to be a part of the drama.
Yeah. I mean, to be given an award and then have someone as big as Kanye West,
Who you're a fan of.
yes, who she was a fan of, come up on stage and say that basically say that you don't deserve it. Like, that is
Devastating.
Yeah.
And I think this was like her first big award she won.
Yeah.
Like, I think she had won a couple of country awards, but I think this was like her first like universal music award, like not a specific category or genre of music rather.
That's why she was so shocked, because she's like, I'm a country artist, as part of her speech. Yeah, that was not great.
And honestly, that's one of the first moments because I've been a fan since debut, that moment kind of really made me like her more, because she could have thrown a fit, she could have cried her eyes out, and she didn't. She was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, are you still a fan of him? And she's like, I mean, I don't know him, so I'm not gonna speak on anything of his character. And I was like, that is really taking the high road. Damn.
Way more mature than anybody else would have been in that moment. Definitely more mature than he was in that moment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see this in the notes anywhere, so we might as well keep talking about it, because I don't know where it is in the documentary. I'm sorry, I failed.
Yeah, I don't have any notes on it either, but you're gonna talk about like the phone call and stuff?
Yes.
I was looking for the notes and I also didn't write it down.
Oh my god.
I literally just wrote like Kanye West, and like that was like most of my notes for this whole section, because I was like, I know what I'll mean. Like, it's okay. We don't need to write detailed notes.
I was like, I know what we're gonna talk about with this Kanye West situation.
I couldn't take notes because I was streaming it. So I couldn't take notes. That's what happened. I thought the phone call was during 1989.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was during 1989 that the phone call happened. It was sometime 2015 or 2016. So 1989 and rep in that era. But anyway, what happened was Kanye called her or something. He had her on the phone, and he was getting her to agree to let him use her name or something like that.
It was to let him say her name in a song.
But he didn't say specifics of what that was going to be. And the song is famous. That's what it's called. And it says, I made that bitch famous. Yeah. But it says we probably still have sex as well. Something about that.
It's also interesting to note Kim was also on that phone call, and Taylor didn't know it was on speaker.
Yeah.
And Kim was recording the phone call in the background.
Yeah.
Was this also having to do with the music video as well?
I don't think he brought up the music video.
No, the music video was for this song, though.
But he didn't get any permission from her for that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the music video has
sculptures of various artists in the nude or beneath the blanket.
I have the full list, and it's very interesting to see who's on this list. It's George W. Bush, who is a former president. Anna Wintour, who is she's the inspiration for The Devil Wears Prada. She's like Miranda Priestley. Donald Trump, now a former president. Rihanna. Chris Brown, who abused her. Him. Kim Kardashian, his wife at the time. Ray J, who I know the name. I can't think of who he is off the top of my head. Amber Rose, who I also can't think of who that is. Caitlyn Jenner, who I think is Kim Kardashian's aunt. I don't know the Kardashian family well enough. And Bill Cosby, who is problematic for drugging and assaulting people. So It's very interesting that that's the group of people he has together.
Also, the sculptures are really creepy to look at.
So he got her on the phone, they recorded it, and then later they edited it.
It came out recently that phone call was edited because the unedited version got leaked.
That song came out, and she realized how her name was used in that song, and she didn't like it. I don't remember what she says exactly about it. She kind of starts standing up for herself a little bit there. And then Kim comes out and says she's a snake. And that's where this whole snake aesthetic starts, close to Snake Day. Because we've gone over this before with the whole rep clowning episode, I think, is when we mentioned it.
I think so.
The snake day theory, because in 2016 that's when Kim said that tweet, and then everyone started to use snakes in reference to Taylor. So the whole snake thing was she took it and she used it in a positive way. She ran with that snake idea. Anyway, there is an image of him standing on a tilted stage at his concert performing this song in the document.
Yeah, it's a clip, and it also shows the audience chanting F Taylor Swift. That's what I was trying to bring up.
Yeah, that's what
was that moment. But that's where the tilted stage comes from, and Look What You Made Me Do.
Yeah.
That music video for Look What You Made Me Do has so many Easter eggs in it.
Yes, it does.
I think it's still the most, but we'll get into that another time.
Also, I added a picture of the sculptures to the thing.
To our link.
Yeah, but I put a spoiler so people don't necessarily have to be forced to look at it. But if anybody is interested in looking at it and not giving Kanye the views.
View with caution.
Yeah, so we see her getting on the plane with her mom, and her seat has the number 13 on it, which I thought was interesting. They talk about her mom's cancer, and her mom has a cancer dog. I think the dog's name is Kitty, and this dog is the size of a horse.
Yeah, I don't remember what type of breed it is, but I feel like it's a Great Dane or something.
Yeah, I think it was a Great Dane. Such a cute dog, but giant.
It looked like a Great Dane with Dalmatian coat on it.
Oh, coloring.
She said she didn't feel ready to settle down just because her life feels like it's planned out 2 years ahead of time with tours and tour dates and stuff.
Yeah, she was in the recording studio, and the guy was asking about do you see yourself having kids and stuff? Because I think they were talking about his family.
It was about him.
And she said she can't. It was the one where she's eating the burrito.
I think it was Jack.
No, it was the other. It was the other producer. It's Joel Little. I knew there would be an article about the burrito. That's why I was like, let me go look for this. I love the bits where they show us in the studio and them working on the different songs, because we get to see what the song could have been before, because the different lyrics and different tempos and different keys they try.
It is cool to kind of catch the changed lyrics. Yeah,
we already talked about it a little bit with that. She would dissect her pictures, but also then people would make comments and say she looks pregnant and stuff like that. That's why I hate when people say things what do you guys want to say about it? The scene she's in the car and she's talking about it. It showed clips of her during her 1989 era a lot. Which I think is when she was struggling with this a lot.
Yeah, where she said she was a 00.
I just remember her talking about how it was because of the paparazzi pictures, which is what you guys were saying, and then she had to just stop looking at the pictures online and had to come to terms with she didn't realize that she could go a whole show and not feel out of breath and
she was going to pass out at the end.
Yeah, she didn't realize that wasn't healthy. She's kind of had to teach herself how to feel okay with being more filled out, but it's healthy. And now I think it's really awesome for her, because now it's you see her at the Eras Tour and she's doing 3.5, 4 hour long shows. So it kind of just shows how far she's come with that, which is pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I found the whole part very relatable when she was talking about it. I also struggled with an eating disorder, and the way she would talk about the mentality she had and trying to find a new relationship with food, I totally related to it. I had to make myself a vow when I turned 30 that I was going to find a way to like food and ignore like how I felt about my own body, but I was going to enjoy food.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing her discuss it, and like the burrito thing where she's like, I didn't discover burritos until 2 years ago. It was very relatable because I discovered new foods I had never had that I didn't think to try because I was watching what I was eating and keeping track of everything. And her talking about keeping track of what she ate in a day, I was like, yeah, I did that. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was all very relatable.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed I think it was during this part where she was talking about how it is to be a woman in the spotlight. It stood out to me.
It was during this part because she's discussing how beauty standards are contradictory. I know where you were going with this about how they want you to have a pencil thin waist but a big butt, and you can't have a big butt and a pencil thin waist.
Like without having surgery done, there's no way to have small waist, big butt, all that stuff. Yeah, I do remember that now that you say that.
Kind of reminded me of the Barbie speech, except it was before the Barbie movie.
It's you have to be thin, but not too thin, and you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you also have to be thin. That's the full one. Yeah, because I remember saying, like, if you gain weight to fill out your butt, then, like, you're gonna be a bigger waist, or if you slim down your waist, it's also going to take weight off your butt, so then your butt's going to be flatter, so it's like there's no win-win situation. I remember saying something like that, but I'm really glad that she's doing much better now. You can see it in the Eras tour, for sure. I mean, at least physically. I don't know, obviously, how she's doing mentally with it, but physically, you can see she's much happier, healthier, and obviously can do tours for much longer.
I mean, we also see her go out to eat more with her friends, so obviously she is enjoying herself, which good for her.
I hope it's a nice inspiration for anybody who's currently dealing with it.
So after the whole Kanye thing, she went off the grid because she thought that that's what people wanted for her to disappear. And she talked about during that time basically falling in love with someone who seemed to have a normal life type of thing. Of course, now this whole part is a little different. This is the first time that I watched this documentary after the fact of her and Joe breaking up. So it was kind of a different perspective that I had going back and watching this part. It was a little harder to watch this part, but because it is really sweet. And that's hard. But she talked about falling in love with a person who seemed to have more of a normal life. And I don't remember exactly what she said about it, but it was basically just the two of them. And when she disappeared for a year.
I think I remember her saying something about how he had a better work-life balance or something.
What work?
Yeah, we made a joke about that when we were watching. It's like, what do you mean work? But I remember saying something about how like she was kind of learning how to like balance the work and life because of him having the more low-key lifestyle.
At the time, this was what she needed because of the whole paparazzi and what everyone was saying about her and the whole Kanye thing. And this was the type of relationship that she felt like she needed at the time, away from everyone else type of feeling. Just in general, I think it was interesting. I just want to make a note of it real quick. How he's not shown really on camera. Like the only time you see him kind of is when he's greeting her after the Reputation tour at the end of the show. Backstage. You kind of see his side frame, but you don't see like him fully. And the other times he's in it, you see him behind, like he's behind the camera. It's his footage that you're seeing of her. And like when they're walking together, you see the shadow. And I just thought it was interesting. This time watching it, I got a kind of a different feel about that whole take.
It kind of brings up the point a lot of people were bringing up when she started dating Travis, that Joe used to like pull her to the car to avoid being like pictured together, whereas Travis is waiting on the side for her out in the open. It kind of is one of those, it felt like a relationship that she was locked away for a year, and it felt like that excuse me, that relationship was also locked away, that it was very behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's just interesting for this documentary because at this point, when this documentary is released, it's been confirmed that they're together. Because before, it was they took a while to really confirm that they were together. They were very secretive about it for the first like year or two, if I'm correct. Like it wasn't until Lover came out that we actually got more of a confirmation, I believe. But yeah, I just wanted to make note of that because it's interesting.
Yeah, it felt like even after the relationship came out, it was still very behind closed doors.
We did get to see Jack and Taylor. They were like working on Reputation stuff, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Reputation stuff.
It was Getaway Car.
I thought so, but I didn't want to say just in case I was wrong, but I was pretty sure it was Getaway Car.
I went to look it up. It was Getaway Car. Because I was even thinking, oh, this would be a good duet.
Yeah, they were working on Getaway Car and they had harmonies, and this is what Jess said, so I'll let you finish.
Oh, just they sounded really good together, and I would love for them to do a song together. No, he does more back behind the scenes work, but like those harmonies were so beautiful.
Honestly, what you said about Getaway Car being a duet would be such a cool like alternate version to the song.
Yeah.
Rep TV, you can use it, Taylor.
Like that would be a really cool duet song because you could have his perspective and her perspective, you know?
Yeah. And didn't they do a duet for Midnights? Didn't they do the anti-hero remix thing? I haven't heard it.
Is he singing on it? I thought he remixed it. I'm gonna have to go listen to it.
I've seen stuff floating around about his verse. Yeah, I haven't actually listened. I'm a bad Swiftie, but I'm just
Can't
joking.
be worse than me.
I'm just joking. There is no bad Swiftie. That's why I said it, because it's ridiculous.
He does sing on it, but it makes sense. It's very remixed, so it's not like the harmonies we were getting in the documentary.
Yeah. But I was just saying he has sung on it, on her music before, so I'm saying it could happen.
And then there was this proposal that happened at her meet and greet. I think it was for Reputation.
Yeah.
The Reputation meet and greet, and it was super cringy. I think he said something about, I want you to witness it or something, like to Taylor, and then just dropped to one knee. And you could tell in the girl's face that she just like felt like she had to say yes in the moment. And it was so awkward. Then Taylor's like, oh my god, was that a yes? Because you couldn't tell. Like, it was such an awkward yes.
It was so awkward.
And then she like high-fived them after. And I just like, why would you do that? Put your partner on the spot like that in front of their biggest celebrity. I'm assuming she was a big enough fan because they got a meet and greet and he decided to do it in front of her. So I figure she's a huge Taylor Swift fan. Why would you do that? Like, that just seems like such an awkward position to put your partner in. Not to mention, she seemed annoyed that her meet and greet time was taken up by a proposal. And then I heard afterwards that she said no to him in private after the fact, but I don't know if that's totally true or not.
So I know from my own proposal, me and Paladin had talked about it long before we got engaged, about public proposal versus private proposal and what we were both comfortable with. And that proposal seemed like they did not discuss what she would be comfortable.
Yes, if you're going to propose to your partner, I do think at some point there should be a conversation of what type of proposals they would be okay with. Like, for me, I would not want a public one.
If you're ready for marriage, that means that you would have communicated stuff like this beforehand. Or else you're not ready for marriage. Like, that just goes to show you're not ready.
Yeah, if you can't discuss something as simple as, do you want to be proposed to in public or in private, you're probably not ready to be in a commitment where communication is key to a healthy relationship.
Yeah, that was a good point, Meggles.
If you don't know your partner well enough to know the type of proposal, then that's just a hint that maybe you shouldn't do it yet.
And maybe not on arguably one of her, like, best days of her life, meeting her, like, all-time favorite musician.
Yeah.
Probably not the best time to do that. I would have hated that if it were me. I would have hated it a lot. And the fact that it's now memorialized in a documentary would be, like, I would hate that so much.
I've heard a lot about the fact that she hated that, and she was so mad. She was so mad at him for it. I'm pretty sure she broke up with him after that, but don't quote me because I could be wrong. She mentioned a stalker throughout the documentary. She mentions that there's a crazy dude who broke into her apartment and slept in her bed, and that's
uber creepy.
Crazy.
She was talking with Brendan Urie when they were recording Me. She was asking him about crazy fans because she knew he had dealt with it before. And then she said about how she had somebody break into her apartment and sleep in her bed.
That's right. Okay. I knew it was in the studio.
I would have burned the bed. I would have got a new bed.
Yeah, for real.
Because she has enough money too. I would have bought a new bed.
I would have got a new apartment. That's his apartment now. I'm out. But I think it was also after them bringing up about the fans outside knowing where she lived, and that was her front yard every day.
I don't know where it happened. We didn't mention Abigail yet. I don't think I took notes on that.
I didn't know who Abigail was when you guys were talking about it. So I was like,
I feel like it happened at some point in this area.
Gonna say, I think it was during the trial because her and Abigail were catching up on what was going on in everybody's life. Or that might have been when she said about she can't make plans because her life is planned out 2 years ahead.
Yeah, she said that during the conversation.
And for context, Abigail is her childhood friend who the song 15 is about.
Oh, see, I haven't heard that song.
You sit next to a redhead named Abigail and soon enough you're best friends. That's Abigail.
Oh, okay.
That song mentions Abigail a little bit more as well, too. But, yeah, she has red hair, and Taylor was in Abigail's wedding, and there are pictures of that. And, like, they've remained friends, even with Taylor being famous and all that. She has been spotted recently, too, I think, at one of the shows.
I was going to say, she was at the airport in the VIP tent, and Taylor sang 15.
Yes. I love that. It's cool that they've remained such good friends throughout. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say about that scene is that I love her aesthetic. I love the way that Taylor's apartment is decorated, you know?
I don't know if that was her apartment. I think that might have been like her vacation home.
Oh, well, it's one of her homes.
It looked like it was a back porch.
Oh. I didn't see a back porch. I didn't.
But I could be wrong. Could have been the apartment. I have no clue. But I know she needs to burn that one chair now, the one with the UK flag.
Right, the chair with the UK flag.
Sorry, all fans of the Union Jack, but that chair's got to go.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Joe Defenders. I hope we're not offending you, but...
It's nothing against him. It's just she's not with a Brit anymore. It needs to go.
I think Joe Defenders should hold off until the new album comes out because it's clearly going to be very Joe focused, and I feel like it'll be a lot more transparent about the relationship.
Yeah.
And then we'll have more of the story. Because I do agree, at the time that they were together, it is what she needed to be out of the spotlight. I understand that defense, but also that's not what she needs now, so...
And we'll get more into that in X episodes. Yes.
Let her be bejeweled.
I do want to say that it's kind of like if your friend is with someone you really like and stuff, but then she breaks up with them. Are you going to still be friends with them? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It just makes me think that kind of vibes. Like, it's kind of weird how people keep holding on to him. That's all I'm gonna say about that for now.
I agree.
Yeah, being friends with him even if they were a toxic person.
We'll get into more details on the exes later.
So the court case would be the next thing. So there was a picture that they had of the incident
And it looked like it took place during Red.
What was his relation to her? Was it a producer or
He was a DJ.
DJ? We should put the picture in the links too.
It's the Red tour.
So it was a DJ?
It was a radio DJ, yes.
It was in between Red and 1989, after Red came out.
Yeah, I just remembered seeing Red on the thing behind her, and I didn't know what it said exactly.
I didn't notice that before.
So they have a picture of it where you can clearly see where his hand would be is like right on her butt area. And she said that he kind of went up her skirt and, you know.
I put a spoiler on it.
And so she reported it to his boss and he got fired. So then he sued her for millions. And so she countersued him for $1 just for the principle of the thing, which is so iconic. I love it. And she won. So that is what the dollar bill in the bathtub of the Look What You Made Me Do music video is in reference to. And then a year later, she's on tour, I think, for Rep.
Yeah.
And she has a speech about how a year ago today she was in the courtrooms, and it's a really beautiful speech. It gets me every time I listen to it. And it's basically about how she had a literal picture of it happening and like several witnesses, and like how grateful and lucky she felt that she had the court believe her and side with her, because she knows a lot of people have no evidence, no witnesses, and they can't get justice because of that.
She talked about also how she did have several witnesses and a picture of it happening, and they still dissected it and were like, well, what were you wearing? What were you doing? What was said?
Yeah.
Like, still victim blaming, even though there were witnesses and a photo.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, I can't imagine like people who don't have any evidence and it's just her word against his sort of thing.
And then she played clean after that speech.
She said that the whole process of taking someone to court for assault is so dehumanizing that by the end it's like the justice doesn't feel very much like justice.
Yeah, it's like you don't feel like you won at the end.
Yeah, which is really messed up, and I hate that about the system.
Yeah. And then she played Clean, which is
In the Rain.
beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
In the Rain, yeah, that was when it was raining, yeah. The next thing I have is just the political stuff, basically. Who was the woman that she was speaking up against?
Marsha Blackburn.
I just loved seeing her speak up on all of the women's rights and the LGBTQ rights. That this Marsha Blackburn was all in support of getting rid of a bunch of rights for all of that groups of people. I don't remember the exact bills and stuff, but
She's going to get rid of a bill that was essentially women protection that helped women fight against stalking and sexual harassment and all of that. And it hit Taylor very hard because it was the stalking part.
wasn't it like Women Against Violence Act or something like that was one of her biggest things that she'd mentioned?
The other thing that she mentioned about it is that it was the first woman that was elected in Tennessee. The whole fact that the first woman that was elected in Tennessee is against women, basically. It's really what hit Taylor hard.
I even saw a lot of non-Swifties that were like stitching the clips of her talking about this stuff on like TikTok and stuff, gaining a lot of respect for her just as a person with the platform she has speaking on these issues, which I know she regrets not doing it sooner, but you know, better late than never. And a lot of people gained a lot of respect for her, even if they aren't like her fans of her music. I saw a lot of people just saying, you know, I respect that she's like, you can see the passion in her voice and her eyes, like as she's talking about it, like how much it actually personally affects her.
Before she made the decision to come out, she showed a clip of her arguing with her father and her mom, and also Tree, her PR manager, discussing, yes, she understood she could get a lot of hate for it, and also discussing why she never spoke up earlier, and it's because country artists don't get far if they discuss political view. And she showed clips of the Chicks, now the Chicks, formerly the Dixie Chicks, getting hate for speaking up.
I remember like when her and Tree were talking about it, Tree was like completely on her side, like, don't worry about the fallout, we'll deal with it, I'm on your side, I think it's a good thing that we should talk about it, and like all of that. I just remember it was mostly her dad that was against it for her safety.
Yeah, I was going to say for safety reasons he was against it. So when she actually made the tweet, it was her and Tree at her, I think Tree's house, it looked like, having wine and bracing for what was going to happen. Like, neither one of them wanted to be the one to hit the button.
Yeah, I literally remember in the video, it's just like, okay, post. And then she's like, I can't, it's posted. Like, I can't go back now. It's done. And then, yeah. And then I think they got ready for the AMAs after with the mirror ball dress. Was shortly after that came out, was it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's also interesting to note that when Taylor made that tweet, they saw a record high in registered voters amongst 18 to, I think they said 20-something-year-olds. I don't remember the exact demographic, but they saw like a huge surge in voter registration.
For young people.
And we saw that again recently when she was talking about the presidential election. We also saw another huge surge in voter registration when she posted a picture of her saying about going out to register, which if she can't do anything else to help the political system, that's still something huge.
Yeah.
Getting young people to vote is hard to do, so.
But it's also so important.
And then she went to the AMAs and had her little mirror ball dress moment.
Well, before that, she had the You Need to Calm Down music video, which is where she took a huge political stance and had a very queer video with lots of little tidbits about the emotional climate America was in at the time with the hate signs and, shade never made anybody less gay. Because
also, wasn't like the wig she was wearing color themed to something?
She had different wigs throughout, but the one she wears, I think at the tea party, I want to say it's the bi flag.
I thought so too, but I can't.
But I could be remembering wrong. Because she wears a rainbow one later, but one I think was the bi flag.
So the AMAs, in 2018, she won the Artist of the Year, and then that's when she took the opportunity to say, I just wanted to make a mention at the fact that this award and every single award given out tonight were voted on by the people, and you know what else is voted on by the people is the midterm elections on November 6th. So she, in that award show, she pushed to get people out to vote. And then at the VMAs, I think it was for the music video, like you guys said, for You Need to Calm Down.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when she called the White House out for not responding to their petition.
They needed 100,000 signatures and they got 500,000, which was 5 times the amount needed to warrant a response from the White House. And at that point, she hadn't heard anything. And she kind of called him out by tapping on her watch, like time's ticking.
Which is so iconic, and I love that, and I can't believe I'd never heard of her doing that before until now. Beautiful. And that petition was about the Equal Rights Act. That's what that one was for.
Mm-hmm.
Which has to do with the LGBTQ community, which is what the music video was talking about and everything, so.
It's also interesting to note when they were making the video, she was asking the people in the video who are openly gay, what can she do to help? What is it that she could say? What is it that she could do that would help make the situation better?
Or if anything at all.
There was a note that someone made about the earrings.
So they originally were like these chunky studs that were like really big, and they were just studs, and then that's what they're showing her trying to put them on because the dress was like really hard to maneuver in. So she was trying to have someone else put them on, and then it transitioned to her like walking on stage or whatever, and she had just like square hoops in instead, which was just an interesting note that she switched her earrings last minute. It looked like, I wonder why. I really want to know why.
Probably because they couldn't get them in.
Because the chunky studs looked really cool, but like they also would have been really heavy on the ears, and I'm wondering if maybe they were just really uncomfortable and too heavy. Because I know that happens with me. If I wear earrings that are like too heavy, it pulls on the earlobes, and hurts and they're really uncomfortable. So I'm wondering if it was maybe that, like she had them on and then last minute she's like, I can't wear these all night, I need to switch them out type of thing.
Yeah.
Because they were really cool looking. I think there was like one that was like a star, kind of looked like it had a bunch of points, kind of like a star or an explosion or something, and then the other one was kind of like this square geometric shape looking thing. Like they're two different earrings, which was like also really cool. I'm curious as to why she switched them last minute. I think it was probably just that like they were too heavy or something, because they looked like really solid, chunky, heavy things.
But yeah, and then the unreleased song,
which I wish she had just released as like an individual, like not on an album, because you guys were saying it's kind of like a little too political to put on an album. But I wish she just released it as a standalone song, because I would love to have it on Spotify. It was really catchy. Yeah, it is on YouTube on her official page, and it's called Only the Young, and she wrote it in response to Marsha Blackburn won the election and it hit Taylor really hard. Only the Young is kind of a song about losing the battle but not the war. We can try again next election type of thing, sort of idea. But it is a little bit too political to be put on an album.
And to try to get the young to realize that it is them that is the next generation. Like, they are the future kind of thing,
yeah.
You know?
The young can have an impact if we actually all went out and voted and tried.
If we start early kind of thing.
But also if the young run, because a lot of candidates are not young and they're making decisions for the younger generations.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, true. So it could also be inspiring young people to try and get into office as well. Make a difference in whatever way they can or want to.
Well, I think that was it.
That was the synopsis of the...
Do either of you have a favorite part that stood out the most, or that just you really like specifically?
What really stuck with me was her talking about her eating disorder. I think that's just because it really hit me close to home, so I think that part really stuck with me.
For me, it was definitely the court case and her speech at the rep tour, and then also just her speaking out for LGBTQ rights and the Equal Rights Act and everything. Both of those are very personal to me. So
for me, it I think was the whole Kanye thing, because I was kind of aware of what had happened just because I saw like little things here and there. But like I said, I was a Swiftie, but I wasn't like in the whole like Twitter scene and lore and like really in the fandom. I was more about the music for a long time. I only recently in the last few years started to get more into the fandom and stuff. But so I knew something had happened, but I didn't know the specifics that much until I saw this documentary. And seeing him get up on the stage and take it from her with her being so young, that just really hit me hard. And then the audience yelling F Taylor Swift, that whole thing, that whole part just really got my blood boiled. Like it really stuck with me. A lot of this documentary stuck with me, but that is what really hit me, I think, the most, at least when I first watched it.
It is a very personal, raw documentary, for sure.
Yeah. It shows that she's human. You know, she's a celebrity, she's famous, but she is a human. She has feelings. She has mental health, and she knows she has a weird life because she's a celebrity.
Should we talk about how next week's is pre-recorded?
The episodes in the next few weeks, there will be an episode every week still, but they will be from ones we recorded in January, and then we're probably going to record one this week. They're going to be on different albums. The next week's episode should probably be Lover. So in that episode, we dissect like the lyrics. We talk about lots of different things we noticed and dive in. We deep dive into the whole album. So be looking forward to that next week and then the next few weeks.
Are we still adding news at the beginning?
Yeah, you and me were gonna record the news. Should I hit the button and see what we get?
Right, we're going to randomize the next one.
And the way I've been doing it is I have the playlist of every single one of her albums, and then I just hit play and whatever it is.
We have Lover coming up next week. Then we have Reputation. It's like perfect that it's those two because of the upcoming album.
Not to mention, those are literally the two albums that we just discussed in this episode in relation to Miss Americana, so it's like really perfect that those are the next. We're masterminds or something, I don't know.
Yeah, we're accidental masterminds, okay?
I swear if this is 1989 and we're going backwards.
Moment of truth.
Ready?
That would be hilarious. Or Midnights would be another hilarious one because that tied in too.
Speak Now.
Okay, I have to go listen to the whole album.
We should probably do Speak Now, not Taylor's
We
version.
should do not Taylor's version first.
Cool. I have to listen to the whole album. I've heard a couple songs, but they're off of Taylor's version because I didn't want to give the stolen version listens, but I will listen to them for this.
She has said it's okay.
It's fine. Yeah, we'll get into that more later. So look forward to that in the next few weeks. We have Lover, Reputation, and then hopefully Speak Now. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to join our Discord so you can follow along with the links for episode.
And if you're in our Discord, you get to see them early.
Yeah, you get to see them early because we're going to start to publish them on Mondays. So the day before our episode airs, so that you can see like a little preview of what we talk about throughout the episode. And also, it's really great, especially if you don't know much about Taylor, to join our Discord because then you can have more reference of what we're talking about because a lot of it could go over your head if you don't know much about Taylor. So there's just a little idea for you.
Plus, we are always willing to answer questions.
Yeah.
And there's other Swifties in there who I'm sure would love to answer questions for you.
Yes, we welcome all.
And you can clown together, share your heirs pictures and videos. So yeah, there's lots to do in the Discord. You also get to pick, I don't know if you mentioned this, you get to pick your favorite album, and then your number display color, your name display color is the corresponding.
Please pick your album.
Yes, there is a few people in our Discord currently that have not picked it, and why not? It's so fun. You get to have your name be the same color as your favorite album, and it gives talking points for fellow Swifties in the Discord. It gives something to talk about, nice icebreaker, and you guys can talk about your favorite albums.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.